Hi, Josh Carr here from carrealestate.com. Wanted to show you a really quick tip, something I've gotten questions about over the years. So let's say you have a model and it has a calculation. And in this case, it's something simple like, you know, 8 times 6, B3 times B4. And obviously I can make this 9 and I can make this 5 and, it recalcs. Now, a lot of people know that if you have a lot of calculations, like let's say 10 times 50 is 100, and maybe, I don't know, this times that is 5,000, and then this times that is, 45,000. Obviously, as these numbers and these calculations get bigger and bigger, there might be a point at which the model is so complex then it starts to get bogged down. Not by the calculations on the first sheet, but by the calculations on the second sheet. Now, how can we turn off calculations in a model? A lot of people already know that you could go to formulas and calculation options and turn off calculations for the entire model. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about turning off calculations just for this worksheet. There's a very simple fix. You open the Visual Basic Editor that I did by doing right-click, View Code, and in the sheet in question that you want to mess with, I typed in this code. I created two little subroutines. One I called calc off, one I called calc on. And as you can see, it's the active sheet, turn the calculation off, the active sheet, turn the calculation on. Those are the two subroutines that I created. I then made two buttons. I named one turn off calcs on this worksheet, one turn on. I created those buttons under the developer tab and I inserted some buttons. And in this case, I linked the first button to calc off, the second button to, you guessed it, calc on. And here's the fun thing. If I press turn calc off, I could put in numbers here and nothing will happen. If I press turn on calcs, everything recalculates. And the best part is, because this is limited to this sheet, if I turn calcs off on this worksheet, I can still work over here, but when I come back over here, these recalculations don't do anything until I turn the calcs back on. So again, pretty simple. Step one, right-click, view code, type in these two subroutines inside of the sheet in question. That's just me going to the code and putting in these two subroutines. Step two, go to Developer tab, insert a couple buttons. If you don't have the Developer tab, you might have to customize the ribbon under Options to get the Developer tab to appear. Once you've got the two buttons created, right-click on them, link the first to the off, link the second to the on, and then, go button pressing. And of course, you'll need to save the file as an XLSM file. So when you go to save it, it might give you a warning about, hey, this file has macros, and you need to save it as a macro workbook. In any event, this is huge. We've all had very complex models where you have lots of complex calculations, and you need to turn the model off on a sheet-by-sheet basis, and this way you can control it from a button. A related question I sometimes get is, hey, is there a way to do this on a range of cells? The short answer is not easily. There are some workarounds, but you're really better off controlling it on a sheet-by-sheet basis. Yeah, so that's it. Fun little tip. Hopefully you found that useful. If this sort of stuff fills you with joy, you can, of course, read more on my website or reach out to me with ideas or questions you have about modeling in Excel. Email me at josh@kahrrealestate.com. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. Cool. And until I see you again, keep on building better models.